Sounds like you have got a new favourite ground bait mix, Alan.
Well, if it's good enough for Andy Bennett and Paul Holland and company, you've got to seriously have a look, haven't you, Tom? And these two for this winter have been, I wouldn't say my to-go mix, but I've been using them quite a lot for me fishing and trying them and experimenting. But the good thing with these two ground mates is you've got a Silver's Dark, you've got a Silver's Dark and a Skimmer Dark. Now the Skimmer Dark has got fish meal in it, and obviously the Silver's one is basically just a standard ground bait. But if you do look at them from the sides, Tom, you can see that they're both very, very fine mixers.
They are, aren't they?
So for winter fishing, they're perfect to start with because you've got no bits in them to riddle off before you start fishing or anything. You can just use these straight from the bags and you've got a lovely mix. Now, is there a better winter mix than these at the moment? I know they've been catching a lot of fish at a lot of venues. In our shop at the moment, these two ground baits are one of our most popular sellers. That one mixes up lovely and you can just use it for yourself if you're bream fishing or feeder fishing, the Skimmer's Dark one, on like places like Allcroft and stuff like that. If you go in silverfish fishing on venues like you've just been on a little 2-day somewhere, you can just use the Silver's Dark on its own. You can mix them both together 50-50, or like what I do most of the time when I do a 50-50 mix is I just get a bag of each, chuck them all together, mix them up dry and then split it down into 2, 3, 4 bags, and you've got your mixers for each match then. So you're not having bits of ground bait laid all over. You can just make your mixers up.
So that Skimmer Dark, obviously
But
that's Skimmers.
Yeah.
The other one, do you add that one there's more roach about? Is that what you're doing?
When you're targeting like say Allcroft at the moment on the feeder pairs and that, you've got skimmers, haven't you? But you've also on some of the pegs you've got perch and roach and stuff like that. So my to-go mix for Allcroft at the moment, and another place I've been fishing is Elsica Reservoir, where we're putting a short line in for a few fish, is basically a bag of that, or 2 parts that to 1 part silverfish. So you're just fining it down. It's not overly strong in the Skimmers one anyway, but I just, even for silverfish fishing, I still like to put a bit more normal ground bait in as well, because there's a few more bits in that what a bit more active.
Bit more active, got you.
So
yeah, okay.
you can make it a little bit more active, or if you don't want it as active, mix it night before, or just use the Skimmers one on its own. But my favourite mix at the moment using these two ground baits has been like basically 2 parts of the Skimmers mix to 1 part silver mix. And when you mix it, there's no lumps in it, you know, with water and stuff like that. I keep watching some of these videos where people say, right, I put a kilo of ground bait in a bucket and I just add a pint of water at once, and they mix it up and it goes like,
crushed
it goes
expander.
all lumpy, and I can't, I don't like that. For me, I can't do with ground bait being mixed. I still add a bit of water, whisk it, add a bit of water, whisk it, and I build it up to get it to the consistency.
Me too.
But you see some people, and I cringe when but it comes out right in the end, but to me, it still doesn't feel the same, doesn't the ground bait? Even though you get it to very similar consistencies, when you just chuck it all in one, and it goes all claddy and that to start with, it still don't feel the same as when you've just added a bit of water at a time. So for me, I'm still add a bit of water at a time and get it to how I want it. And then you can tweak it as you're going along, or like some people do, or what have you. But at the moment, I don't think there's a better winter skimmers mix or mix for catching varieties of fish on commercials and natural venues at the moment than these two ground baits.
And the other thing I like about the Blakes from a usability point of view, Alan, is they've both got that resealable top, which is very, very
So you can tear them open anyway, and then, as I say, if you only want to use an handful of each or whatever, you can just tear them open, or I still actually prefer to cut them, because when I tear them I usually end up tearing them too much and pulling this bit off. But you can, as you say, you've got your resealable tag there, so you can obviously close bags back up again.
Yeah.
And it is a really nice mix. And if you haven't tried these mixers, or these two particular ground baits out of the Blake's range, give them a go.